What's going on, Tar Heels? Alan here, one half third of your Hill brothers. Well, you might as well just say 1/4 of your Hill brothers, because with me, as you can see, is Jeff Blackwood. Might as well be, an honorary member of the Hill brothers. And we're coming here. Um, if you're alive and have a pulse, you know what's going on in North Carolina football, and we're here to talk about it. So, Jeff, let's get into this thing, man. It seems like all day yesterday, there was, rumors swirling that, Bill Belichick was looking to trigger his own $1 million buyout by, quote unquote, finding a soft landing with another team which was really interesting in the statement, a soft landing with a team that was in playoff
or
contention
media. Well,
or media outlet.
Yeah,
which is interesting of itself.
Yeah.
And then, in like the Paul Revere, the British are coming time of night. UNC Athletics comes out with, this joint release. One from Bubba Cunningham said we're 100% behind Belichick, and Belichick comes out and says, I'm fully committed to the process, or whatever. 25 words between two individuals posted. I think it was like 9:45. After basically the entire universe, whether you had a dog in the fight or not, was ready to kick Bill Belichick out.
Everybody had already blown up at that point, right? It was just kind of, I got the feeling it was that, oh, well, we better say something, right?
You had to. I think,
because
they were
you had
silent.
to. Yeah, you couldn't. You can't take a beating like we were taking in the media and not say anything. So it was one of those things that it's almost like, I mean, it was boilerplate material, right? I mean, it's what it was. It was, I mean, that's what you would.
So
it's boilerplate material. It's boilerplate material. I mean, that's what it is. It's not.
This is Bill Belichick's comment. I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here. That was his statement. That's all he said after everything that had been thrust upon him.
Right.
Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and the university. Does he? Can he?
Well,
at this point, can he? Because now UNC's kind of painted themselves in this corner.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
They're looking for a way to terminate him, apparently, without having to pay his exit fees.
Right.
And or he's looking for a way out, trying to help so the university don't have to pay his exit fees, and he just has that $1 million buyout instead of the full $30 million.
There's so many layers to this. And you and I were talking before we came on, before we started recording, and we're tossing this and this. But you mentioned that there's so many layers to it, man. I mean, and the thing I'll tell people, I'll say to people is, you gotta, I try to do this myself. I just urge people, consider some of these sources some of these reports with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that nothing happened, because obviously things have happened. But when you see some of these reports from WRAL, and which is, a known, I mean, have had it out for us forever. I mean, it's state propaganda media as far as I'm concerned. Take stuff with a grain of salt, first of all, because, we just, until things are confirmed, it's easy to jump to conclusions on things.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. It's so easy to jump to conclusions. And I was telling you, the other thing I was saying is, I was watching. I caught, I guess, the show that the Sunday Tar Heel
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to y'all on some of that, and I saw, Nathan did the play. He added the playback of him and I, of the two of us right afterwards in the stadium.
Yeah.
And he was, I think one of the first things he said when y'all went live, though, or when y'all were recording, is, we finally broken, we broke Jeff, Mr. Positivity is,
Yeah.
and what I said was I was flat out deflated, which I was. I mean, that was my gut reaction. I was flat out, I was deflated because I'd hoped, I didn't necessarily expect, but I really just held out some kind of crazy hope that the result Sunday would have been better than it was. So I truly was deflated. But even that, I really, really try hard, and I don't do a great job of it sometimes because sometimes I will just let it go and not catch myself. But I find myself being a prisoner of the moment a lot, and it's something. As soon as something happens, I'll we all do that and react. I try to do that. I try to be careful because I wind up saying things I don't mean. I go a little too far sometimes with things. But no, I was deflated. That was truly. I don't know that I'm broke, but I was truly deflated after that game. But like I said, the whole point of going back to this, really though, what I was starting to say was, with all these sources, we got to be careful. I mean, we got to be careful on what we believe. It's easy. The people that hate Carolina and want this and are preying on our downfall, and there's a lot of them. Obviously, they're everywhere.
There's a lot,
dude. There's everywhere. I mean, it's not even. It's people that I saw. I saw a reply earlier this week on Twitter to something, and it was a West Virginia fan, and it was like, I didn't really care about Carolina until we got left out of the NCAA tournament. And they got in over us, and they shouldn't have. And now I'm praying for their downfall all the time. I'm like, so people are just coming out of the woodwork because they don't want. I mean, they hate us. They hate us. They hate us because they hate us because they ain't us.
I mean that is interesting because I mean, on paper, West Virginia had a better year than North Carolina did in basketball last year.
Yeah. We're not getting into that conversation.
And I'm wearing the basketball jersey.
We're not getting into the conversation. We kicked ass in that first game, though. So I mean,
Oh yeah, the first four we was on fire.
That play-in game was awesome. So hey, But anyway,
if North Carolina could have played like the play-in game, they might have been national champions. But we
made a good run in the second half of the other game. We just dug too deep a hole. But anyway,
yeah, well, that was North Carolina last year.
That was part of our deal last year, anyway. So
yeah.
Anyway,
so where does UNC where does the football program go from here? Can they recover from this season? Like this like entire situation? Or okay, I got a serious question before you answer that one.
Okay.
We'll rewind back to last year. After JMU, what did Mac Brown do in the locker room?
He quit.
He
quit. And then he walked it back. But yeah, he quit the locker room.
Is this Bill Belichick's it was yesterday Bill Belichick's like Mac Brown's post JMU locker room speech? Could he have, wanted out and then, I know I'm then late at at the 12th hour he's like walking it back?
I don't see him wanting out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him. I don't see Belichick doing that. I don't see him saying, screw it, I quit. It's too hard.
Right.
It's gonna, it'll go down to a full deal and he'll either get run out or I just don't see him. I don't see him throwing in the towel and saying he can't do it. So no, I didn't see it like that. I don't know. The other piece you said, how do we recover? Do we recover?
Is it recoverable?
On On most levels, no. I, because I think we have to break it down now and say, okay, it, and again, it's not what anybody wants to hear or wants to do, but the reality of the situation, okay, requires us to say, okay, what do we need to see from here on out? That's the realistic, logical, just step back way of looking at it. What do we need to see?
Yeah.
I need to see, and people, it's nothing new. People have been screaming about it. And I've heard from some people that coaching, like some coaching staff things are in the works and are supposed to be happening or going to happen.
Right.
Don't know specifics. Just have kind of heard from a few people that might be happening or that's going to be happening.
Yeah,
I think that's the bare minimum, right? That's the bare at this point. That's the bare minimum, right? You've got to see that, because what was it? Something Nathan kept saying. What I think it was something Nathan kept saying Sunday. What's the definition of insanity? Didn't he say keep doing the same thing over and over again and
doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result?
He said that, when you and him were going at it a little bit, which by the way was you could tell y'all are brothers because y'all were just killing me, man. I was like, wow.
I like getting him fired up, and I know how to push his buttons to get him fired up.
And you do, and you do as brothers. You learn that. So I was actually that was good. That was good. That was good TV. It was good TV.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I was having, he might have been, he was probably ill, but I was having a good time, and
yeah.
Because
no, that's the minimum. The minimum is, but like I said, the minimum, because we have been doing the same thing, right? So something has to change. The minimum is something with the coaching staff, some kind of shakeup. Show us that you're trying to address some of those issues. Without that, I mean, and that doesn't necessarily save anything, obviously, because you still have to see what happens after that. But that's a good faith effort type of thing. I don't know any way to put it, I guess. I mean, that's just kind of a way to show that you're trying to make some progress, right? So
and this one will probably get you fired up. So I've seen a bunch of tweets since all this things went out, and so apparently one of the big sticking points with this is this unnamed injured player that was essentially removed from or dismissed from the team and told to come back next year because he was no longer able to contribute to the team.
When did was that an injury that was during spring camp or something, or summer, or when was that?
Apparently it was this from what I've read in the tweets.
Okay.
That was in the spring. He came for fall, and
okay.
Yeah,
I saw it.
And I was trying to look it up because it was Battle something tweeted it out.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought I bookmarked. I thought I bookmarked it for this just to bring it up.
This very conversation. I thought I'd bookmark some stuff too to talk about, and I don't think I did.
I'm not a Twitter user, and I'll never call it X, but
I'm never gonna call it X either, so don't worry about that.
But let's just say so your job as a coaching staff is to not only coach the players you have, but to be able to walk in a 16, 17-year-old's home and look parents and grandparents and loved ones in the eye and say, hey, if you come here, we're going to do the best for your son. And if these reports are confirmed, which if they're out there, I'm assuming they've been confirmed. How as a parent can you trust that coaching staff
That's
to do what they're to do what they're selling?
If it's just as cut and dry as that right there, if there's nothing else to it than that, that's it's like I said off the air. We were talking about this. I can't defend that. That's indefensible. I don't know how you do that. You can't. If that's again, and I keep saying I won't say it anymore. It's just assumed now. But if that's the situation, if that's the whole truth and nothing but the truth, and that's all there is to it, you can't defend that. And that puts us, that kind of thing. And you talked about with the parents, that kind of thing. That's going to get used in recruiting as a negative recruiting tactic, as it probably should.
It's going
right?
to be.
I mean, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over that. Heck yeah. But that brings me to another point, though. Okay, so that's known. What's up, and the thing and all of this that brought me a heck of a lot of hope. And
I found it. It's by Savage Sports, and it was 13 hours ago. Bill Belichick kicked out an injured player and told him to rehab on his own because he can't help the team. An injured player had his keys removed and was told to come back in a year. He had to rehab on his own. He was no longer part of the program since he could not help the team on the field this fall.
And like I said, I consider the source. Is it true? Is it another one of those things that might have had a kernel of truth to it, maybe, that then got blown out of proportion and is just being used by people that want to see Carolina fail at all cost, to take us down, but just purely hypothetical. If that's the case and that's what happened, that's terrible. That's indefensible.
You can't do that.
You can't, and that's why I said I can't believe something like that would have happened.
Because you would think that would be like the university would step in at that point, and there would be a fireable offense.
Yeah, because exactly. There's something else in there. Yeah, there would have to be something. There would have had to been waves made out of that. I can't. Something would have had to come from that. That kid's parents would have had to been screaming bloody freaking murder. I mean, there's a parent, there's a family member on Twitter of somebody that left the team last week or a couple weeks ago that has been out. Yeah, that's been out saying, that's not true. He was basically released.
And I'll say it's Isaiah Johnson. His family is
it's AZ. Yeah, it was AZ. It was AZ's uncle. And actually, he was on another podcast. AZ's uncle called in on another podcast last night and was talking about it. So, I mean, he put it everything. He's tweeted about it, but he put everything out on Front Street on another podcast last night. So,
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm pretty sure when Nathan put out on our social media, when the players were leaving, he put out a graphic with AZ's, AZ, Trey Green, and Paul Billups. We did one for all three. And I want to say that Nathan said that his uncle commented on his picture.
I guarantee he did.
But I don't see it. Nathan might have removed it because
he was commenting. His uncle was commenting on everything that was anybody that said anything about it. His uncle, I saw replies from his uncle saying, no, he was released. No, he was released. I don't know the story. I mean, that's a family member. It's hard to disagree with that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you would. I
it,
mean, I guess you would know. I mean,
yeah.
you
I
would
mean,
assume that he would.
so that's something else. Here's the thing. I mean, there's so much out there, and
But that would have meant he would have had to. He would have had to remove everybody's, and that includes Trey Green's.
yeah, I don't know.
And I don't see it. So I'm assuming he removed all three.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the things now, when we talk about things like that with players and some of the negative stuff that starts coming up, what I was
Yeah.
starting to say earlier was one of the things that's the thing that really has given me a heck of a lot of hope and started happening last night and then some this morning too, when you've got a few of the players on the team, but really the bigger recruits for 26
Mm-hmm.
have all put out stuff on social media saying, "Hey,
And
we're here, we're solid. I ain't going nowhere. We're building something."
right, and
That's
and
good to
that
see.
and
I mean,
that it is because you're hoping they're coming to UNC because they want to come to UNC, and it's just not uh, the name on the billboard that's
yeah,
coaching them.
yeah,
It's it's the university, it's the campus, it's the atmosphere, and the coaches are a bonus.
yeah.
I don't think everybody went to Alabama for all those years because it's Alabama. Nick Saban had a lot to do with it.
Oh yeah, for real. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying that these people aren't coming because Bill Belichick is the head coach, but to reaffirm that they are coming in the midst of a storm where at that time, Bill Belichick was assumed to be in the process of being bought out one way or the other.
Right.
It's nice. I mean, especially the Griffin Hayes brothers,
Zadion and
Travis Burgess. They came out in full support, amongst
Trayshawn.
others.
Yeah, Trayshawn
Um,
Ruffin and
yeah,
Trayshawn's
that's the other
dad
one.
and Trayshawn's dad.
So
So
that's big for the program in itself.
CT3, Calvin Thomas said something this morning, I think.
So
Yeah. And then Kamori House has been on there too.
yeah, I saw some posts from Kamari.
He's had some stuff the last couple weeks just about, hey, we ain't lost hope yet. Along the lines of, we're still working. We ain't lost hope yet. We're trying,
Yeah,
it takes
yeah,
time.
I can't find those posts that he made.
But yeah,
But
he's been
I do
saying
remember
stuff.
Nathan saying that his family had commented on our post about him leaving the team, and they might have took issue with the fact that we put that he left the team, and that might have been what they were saying.
Well, he did for everybody. You talking about you going back to
Yeah, because that's what I was scrolling looking for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, AZ. Yeah, like I said, I saw. I just happened to be looking that day, and just happened to see the replies from the family, from his uncle on all that stuff.
Yeah.
And again, if that's what happened, I don't. They wanted him. There's stuff to that.
They went to
Michigan.
They went to Michigan State and got him.
Michigan State. Yeah, they wanted him to dress out, or they wanted him to dress out, but be on the sideline as a cheerleader, as I think was the direct words that his uncle used. So I'm not speaking out of school or anything.
Right.
It's a situation that I'm not in that situation. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing though. That negativity with the players, there's things like that in this other report about the injured player in the spring hasn't seemed to hurt the recruits that we have so far though, and that's a good thing. Now
that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's kind of scary for them. You know what I mean?
Well, it is. Whether people want to admit it or not, because Carolina football's you can. We just haven't been, we're that sleeping giant. We're, people keep talking about the sleeping giant. Well, we're still sleeping. We ain't never really woke up.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's what.
But Carolina itself, the freaking the Carolina Blue, University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, that carries something. And I don't care. Everybody that hates us can say what they want.
I mean,
that name still carries
from
something. It's still Jordan brand.
Indoors.
It's Jordan brand. It's Nike. It carries something. That degree means something. So
it does.
You know, people can try to downplay that as much as they want to, but you know that does mean something. And you know, if I was a big athlete, I mean, heck yeah, I'd want to be one of the ones that came, one of the ones in the class that came in and brought us up. So that's what I'm clinging. That's what I'm clinging.
Nothing else. There's going to be a ton of playing time. It looks like there's the ability to get on the field early if you're good enough.
If you're good enough, there. Right.
How do you? Okay, so this will be a fun one. This stuff's going on yesterday. If you're Mac Brown and you're in Austin, Texas, how are you feeling right now?
He's laughing his butt off, man.
I guarantee it.
He's laughing his butt off.
He is probably.
He's laughing, and you've seen stuff. If you paid attention to it, if you paid attention to social media this season, some of the former Mac Brown, some of the former members of the staff in whatever capacity in the football program have made their little comments and their little snide gifs and pictures and I mean things like that. It's people. There's been some stones thrown our way because of how they felt about how that went down. So yeah, Matt, they're loving it.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah. So
if Mac Brown has this exact team, is North Carolina 2-3?
Honestly, I don't see why we'd be any different. I mean, what did Mac show us that was? I mean,
no. Okay, I completely agree.
I don't think
after TCU. Okay, TCU. Say Gio's the guy. Me personally, I don't know if Gio would have been the guy for Mac to start the game. I don't think so.
I'm not sure Matt brings Gio. I mean, there's a lot of things like that. Does Gio come if it's Matt? Does Matt bring Gio in? I mean, we're talking hypothetical.
But Mac Brown has this team. Yeah. You see Gio's performance after the first half. I don't know if he sticks with him in the second half. And then say he does, and he gets hurt, then Max comes in, looks good. I think Max probably starts against Richmond, or maybe he gets the start, or maybe Gio gets to start against Richmond, and then or not Richmond, it was Charlotte. Charlotte was second game.
Yeah, Charlotte.
And then you see the lack of offensive production in that game, and then Max gets it, then you probably get some run. And if he's not liking what he still has the true freshman, and Mac is not scared to play the true freshman because Sam Howell did it against South Carolina.
Oh, I get
against Miami, against Clemson. It just seems like this staff is married to a quarterback position.
Yeah.
And the only reason I feel like Max is getting burned is because Gio is hurt, which makes no sense to me.
I have a bad feeling. That you're right there. Unfortunately, I think if Gio, everything we've seen, I think if Gio, given the information we have, I think if Gio was healthy, Gio would probably still be playing. Given everything we've seen, nothing we have seen tells me anything to the contrary. To go back to the back situation, though, are we the same place? Man, it's really hard to say. I mean, it's really hard to say. I think I think you got beginning point and the point we are right here, right now, right? 2 points in time. Now, honestly, I don't think the end point in time is much different. Some of how we get to those points, the details and the pass in the middle between A and B might be different. I really, really don't think where we stand right now is much different. You know, I don't.
North
like I said,
Carolina,
there's going to be some differences on how we got here, but I don't see it much different. Mac,
I know how many first downs they had against Clemson. It was 19. They had 19 first downs against Clemson, okay? That was a full Max Johnson game.
We couldn't protect him worth a darn that game. I mean, that we didn't do him any favors. But
UCF, North Carolina only had 14 first downs.
That's woeful, man.
14. And that was a majority Geo game until he got hurt in the second half.
Yeah. Our offense is horrible. I mean, our offense is horrible. I mean, you look at the numbers. We rank in the bottom of the NCAA and everything.
Richmond was a full game of Geo. Now, this is against Richmond. This is not a good team. 15 first downs.
Yeah.
So, I don't think Mac would have been married to a quarterback that couldn't get a first down.
And like I said, I don't.
The UCF game could be the turn. I'm not saying you're beating Clemson. I don't think you're beating Clemson. I just don't care.
Clemson was too good. Clemson's too good to be playing as bad as they played up until us. They are. I mean, that's just fact.
You can say, oh, well, Clemson's been down all year. They haven't been good all year. I don't give a
the talent on the field is there. I mean, they have talent. They got NFL talent.
They just got to put it together one time.
Exactly.
And what better way to do it is against North Carolina? So take that's an L no matter who's coaching.
Yeah. We're gonna get right game.
Saban, Belichick.
Yeah, no,
Bear Bryant.
I'm with you.
I don't know. It's the UCF game. That's the one I think Mac could have won because he would have had a quarterback that was able to sustain drives, which in turn would have kept the UCF offense off the field.
I see that. You know, I'm not saying I can't tell you no, you're wrong, there's no way. No, I can see that. Because Mac wasn't ever afraid to mix that stuff up. But
I still go back. Lost to Richmond.
Well, yeah, and I still go back to the when we talk about would we be in a different place? I still go back to the fact that people want to hem and haw and say, well, Mac had you winning games, and you're not struggling to win 3 games or 4 games. Yeah, but how many times did we lose a double-digit favorites? I mean, you got things like that were just flat out inexcusable crap. That
Virginia, when you're 6-0 and ranked 10th in the country.
I mean, freaking Georgia Tech. I mean, there was games in there. The number of games we lost as double-digit favorites was ridiculous, and that's why
JMU 70.
That's why I say, the route between point A and B might be different, but I still think we're pretty much at point. I don't see us any different really than where we are now. We've just got there a different way.
Yeah.
And we're not the other thing but the thing about it here now is all the extracurricular stuff is the stuff that's making this so much worse. It's this.
Well, yeah, now you got your defensive back coach suspended for.
That's again, and I wanted to make sure we got that up too, because I knew that was going to come up again. I was talking to you before when I was saying before. There's so many layers, like an onion. we're peeling back, and you got all these layers to it. You mentioned Shrek earlier. There's the onion thing for Shrek. I'm tying that in.
Yeah.
Onions. There's like onions.
I meant to mention that when we was talking about the tweets that UNC athletic put out. But going back to that, that's kind of what it was. It's like, Bill Belichick's in his office, and the pitchforks and the torches are outside, and they got to do something to shut the people up.
Yeah.
They put out 2 statements for 25 words, and
which was boilerplate. Again, it's boilerplate material. Some people would tell you look at, and those statements can be taken a couple different ways. Really, you look at them, and
I take it as
the vote of confidence right before somebody's gone, which is one thing somebody was saying.
That's what I think. Me personally, I think that those statements were just buying time for each respective party to get their affairs in order. Now, whether to get your affairs in order lasts until the end of the season, kind of like what it did with Matt Brown.
Yeah.
Because, and I posed this question to Nathan when I was talking to him yesterday. I was like, okay, say they do clean house, and if you're going to do it, you got to burn it to the ground. You have.
Oh yeah, it's everybody. It's everybody. It's nothing. It's no holdover. It's no holdover. Not a single person had anything to do. Boom. Otherwise, you're always going to have something there that's going to.
So who coaches the team?
That's the thing. That's why I say. That's why I was saying to you.
I told Nate the only person it could be is Freddie Kitchens. That's the only one that you put as interim coach, and at the end of the year, and it's known at the end of the year, you are not working for us. That's the only one.
Yeah.
But then I think it's more feasible for the coaching staff to know, like, look, at the end of this year, we're out. Thank you for trying. Thank you for coming. It didn't work. It's not working. We're splitting up.
I would hazard a guess. that the conversations that have been had yesterday, and since Clemson, especially, have probably had something to the effect of, all right, if we don't see this is it. If we don't see, now I don't know what this is. I mean, again, there's got to be somebody, somebody's got to be saying there's got to be this level of improvement. What that level is, that's the kind of thing we've all been debating, and everybody's debating about what's enough. What do we need to see? What kind of things do we need to see? And I've talked about it every freaking game. Before every game that we've done a pregame, I've said, I just want to see some improvement.
And you don't see it. I mean,
we haven't seen any.
You thought he was your safe. You thought everybody thought Damon June was your safe, and he got like 3 carries against Clemson. And then you got Davion Goss, who was in there and hurled a guy at the end of the half, and you don't see him no more.
Yeah. That's,
what are y'all doing?
Yeah. That game is one of those things too, though. I think going to the Clemson game, when you're talking about that on that particular point, I think we did get to a point that, we were so far behind right off the damn bat. We really couldn't run. We couldn't run. I mean, it took us out of the game, and we really couldn't run. We were too far behind. We couldn't run the ball.
At that point, you wasn't winning that game regardless.
Yeah, we couldn't run the ball. We're trying to do something, but again, I think, breaking down looking at it. I mean, the offensive line. I mean, they didn't do any. They just had a bad game. It wasn't good. I mean, Max didn't have time. The guys didn't get holes when the guys didn't get holes. And as good as they are, I mean, the backs are good, but when you see Damon getting the yardage he had, in the other games when he looked so good, I mean, he had something to do with that, right? Because he was the one doing it, and he's getting, he's getting some tough yards, but he also has some. I mean, he had some help. I mean.
The holes are huge,
running through,
and it was
the holes. He was getting holes open for him, so you got to give credit to the guys in the trenches too. That's why they're so the position that's so linked. They're so interlinked. together on success. But no, I mean, and we've kind of been all over the place. I feel like, but
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Like that old school video game Pong where the ball's just going back and forth, and like
Well,
you end up like
I told
chasing
y'all.
one thought.
I told y'all. I made the comment at the end of the the interview podcast that we did back in the beginning with us that my mind just works stream of consciousness.
Mine does too, and I'll go down whatever rabbit hole you want to go down. But I'll try to steer us back. We was talking about whether it should be terminated now and just like rip that Band-Aid off, or wait till the end of the season, or does Belichick get another season? And I don't think Belichick. The only way Belichick gets another season is if the team finishes. See how many games are left? 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 7. There's 7 games, right? Because they've played 5. 12 games.
Yeah, 7 games. Yeah, there's 7 games left. Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule.
The only way I think Belichick has a year 2 season is if they finish 7-5 or higher.
That's not going to happen.
That's the only way.
Lord knows, as optimistic and positive as I am, I hope that happens, and I'll take it. And I'm going to be there rooting every game like we're going to win it, and I hope we win it. I'm not going to go in saying, no, we're going to lose this game. We're screwed. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be cheering. The players, we talked about this before, off the air. The players deserve it. I don't care what you say.
They do.
The players deserve our support.
And if the tickets are cheap enough, I'm going to be there for 1 or 2 of them.
Well, I mean, if I have tickets, you got tickets and you ain't got to pay me. So we ain't got to worry. That's off the air conversations, but we'll figure that out. I don't generally make people pay. I'll generally give them the tickets.
Well, I don't mind paying, or I can just buy a case of Busch Light and we'll call it even.
Well, winner chicken dinner, winner chicken dinner. Yes, sir. There you got right there.
Wake Forest has a pulse. I'm not winning that game. Cal has a pulse, and it's at 10:30 on a Friday night.
That's the time on that game is not doing us any favors.
Duke just blew the doors off of Cal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're not going to win that game.
I don't see anywhere in the world we stop Mensa. I mean, I don't see anywhere in the world we stop
the state game. I mean, because a coachless Virginia Tech team was able to go into, whatever they call it over there, Raleigh, whatever that place is called. Virginia Tech went in there and beat them, and they didn't have a daggone head coach. But we saw the same thing with UCLA, and without a head coach, beat Penn State, which is absolutely wild.
That's a whole nother level.
And that's what gave me hope. That's
a whole nother level right there, Jeff, buddy.
That's what gave me hope yesterday. I was like, oh man, they're going to fire Bill Belichick, and North Carolina's going to win out. North Carolina's going to win out after they fire Belichick, and it's going to be the biggest middle finger to Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I mean,
and I was going to be so happy, but it just didn't happen. I'm not going to lie, I was kind of disappointed when nothing happened and they came out with joint statements.
I knew as much as I could have known, which is having no inside information. I just couldn't see anything actually happening yesterday like that. Not at that level.
Oh, see,
I just didn't see it. I just could not. I couldn't see it.
We have a couple inside information, and the build-up and the amount of and what they were able to tell us. It was just like It was just like this bubble that was filling up with water, and you're just waiting for it to blow. You just like every time I heard ESPN go off, I was like, oh, "Is this it? Is this it?" And then it's just like a disappointment. And then,
those cryptic, everybody's cryptic tweets yesterday were pissing me off. By the way, I was like, "Y'all, please stop the cryptic tweets."
Like UNC Athletics puts out them 2 statements, and then the bubble pops, and I'm just like, this is stupid.
What's not? I mean, like I said, I just don't like. I don't see anything. I don't see that top level changing this season. It would have to. Something would have to come. This is how I see it happening. I don't think anything on the field causes that to happen. Now, if some of this recruiting, some of this NCAA violation stuff that people are talking about, trying to build to be able to use for calls, if that's true, that's the kind of thing I could see triggering gone before the season's over. That's the only thing I can see. That's the only thing right now, as I'm thinking about it.
Yeah,
I don't think anything on the. I don't think results on the field end it before the season's over with. If some of this recruiting, if some of this NCAA violation stuff has enough legs to it, I can see that. I can see that forcing a change before the year ends, before the season ends. That's, as I'm thinking about it, that's the only thing I can think that would make a change there.
Yeah, and if North Carolina's not winning, the outcry from the fans is going to be so loud by the end of the year.
It is. Well, which fans that are still there? I mean, you know, people are going to be complaining about
is on
people aren't going to be
ESPN begging Belichick to quit. Like, just
which is going to make him dig in deeper. I mean, which is going to make him dig his heels in so daggone deep in the dirt.
Stephen A. Smith is giving like a eulogy on First Take. Dan Orlovsky, I mean, you name it. Everybody that knows ball is like, okay, I'm not going to say Stephen A. I overstepped right there. I'm not saying Stephen A. Smith knows ball. I'm not even going to say Paul Feinbaum knows ball.
He knows ball.
Dan Orlovsky knows
ball. Dio is
but
the man. I love listening to Dio.
Feinbaum has been around it. He knows what a coach looks like. And I can't stand Paul Feinbaum.
Oh, I don't like him either.
And he's just a trumpet for the SEC. But needless to say, you know, and I think a fan for North Carolina knew going into this thing that this was going to either be the biggest success, or it was going to be the Titanic,
or the most disastrous failure.
Like,
no
you
in
go in watching,
no in between.
When you went to the theater to watch Titanic, you knew how it ended before you walked through the doors.
I've still never seen that movie, by the way, but that's another subject. I know how it is. I know how it goes. I've just never. I know the story. I've just never seen the movie.
Yeah, there was going to be good, know the story. You know, parties and good times, and the drinks is flowing. But you knew at the end of that movie that ship was splitting in two and floating and sinking to the bottom of the Atlantic.
And that might be us at the end of the year.
And there's only two ways that this thing can go, and it's either the Titanic route or I'm not sure the other route, but I don't have a movie equivalent of that route.
We're looking very Titanic-esque right now, right? I mean,
it kind of looks like the Titanic has already hit the iceberg. Like, I wouldn't even say North Carolina looks like the Titanic movie, because I don't know if North Carolina even made it out of the harbor.
Did we ever leave the dock, is what you're saying? Did we ever leave port?
I think if North Carolina's football program is the Titanic, I think it ran aground the moment it got tugged, like it was trying to get tugged out to sea.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jeff, we had one drive. The first drive of the TCU game, you know, and that was it. You know, that program was on top of the world for 10 minutes.
What was it? There were people saying national championship right there. National championship offense.
After that first drive, I was a believer.
We all were, right? I mean, we all were, because that's.
And then the
that was
Charlotte
as
game
good.
happened, and I was like, and I told Nathan on
Well,
Charlotte,
we
I
scored
said,
first.
this,
Didn't we score first drive of that game too?
yeah. We're
Okay.
the king of first drives.
We scored the first drive of
but
that game.
And Nathan got pissed at me on the post game. It was the Sunday Tar Heel after the Charlotte game. He was so mad.
I
because
I did not see that one. So
I was down, and I was down bad on the team. I was like, Nathan, this team is not good. It's not good. He's like, oh man, they're still figuring. I was like, Nathan, I am telling you, this team is not
and I was with
good.
him. And I was with him. You know what?
Because you got to give us time. No, it's not good. And I kindly threw that back in his face like last week.
I thought about
Tar Heel, maybe, or
you did,
something before.
Oh yeah, I saw. I thought about something this week. Actually, last night, sometime yesterday. I thought about something that I'd heard before the season started from somebody who had gone to practice and knows the game of football.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that they said what you said before the season even started. This team really is not good.
Yeah.
And I should have listened.
I mean, I had him at 8.
Coming who it came from, and coming who I should have listened and said, all right, that's a little concerning. But I brushed it off, and I was like, figuring it out. And I was one of the people that I've heard people on social media. I've seen people on social media, and I think it's said on a podcast or so, about people saying at the first couple games, we were still trying to figure things out, and maybe we were holding back. Well, I mean, I was hoping we were holding something back till we got into the big games, but clearly that was not the case. I mean, that was just me hoping. I mean, I'm a hopeful, optimistic guy. I mean, that's what I was hoping for.
And here's optimism: North Carolina could win out and find themselves in the ACC championship.
Yeah, I mean,
teams ahead of
the
them.
The games still have to be played. The games still have to be played. Things could happen. It's not likely, and nobody's betting on us.
But I'm saying North Carolina could win the remaining games on the schedule and
we
find themselves in the ACC championship.
Yeah,
just because the schedule is not good. I mean, California got blown out by San Diego State, got blown out by Duke. Up until last game and the game against Syracuse, Syracuse has lost their starting quarterback and has only put up 6 points in the last 2 games. And Duke blew out Syracuse, but Syracuse doesn't have a quarterback. So you don't. And prior to then, Duke didn't look good at all.
Duke has pieces. Duke has pieces that Duke has some certain pieces.
They have Darian Mensah.
They have Mensah and Chandler Rivers.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, yeah, we're not. Nothing's happening.
CJ Bailey, NC State.
CJ Bailey.
Wake Forest. They have flashes of looking good, but
in States,
it looks doable.
In States fans' heart of hearts, here's the question. Here's something. Every State fan, pretty much, that I've seen anything from on social media wants Doeren gone.
Yeah, they do.
So are State fans secretly rooting for us to beat them, knowing that's the final nail?
It's over.
That gets Doeren. If Doeren loses to us this year, that's his nail. He's gone. Are they secretly hoping we win just so they lose him? I mean,
with NC State's schedule they play Notre Dame Saturday.
Yeah. Oh,
Then they got Miami on the road, Florida State at home.
Yeah. Yeah, but if Clemson. They keep beating us, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that kept Tom O'Brien's job.
we're the only game left on their schedule that I think they'll win.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm laughing because I've joked that, and State fans will say, I mean, they've been mediocre as hell too, but they'll tell you. I mean, I've read. That's the thing I've read. I mean, I said something about it the other week on Twitter. That was, about Doran and everybody Carolina saying resign him, and I'm like, well, why? Because he keeps beating us. I mean, I don't want him re-signed. I want him gone. Yeah. And I realize they've been mediocre other than that, but they still beat us. I don't give a crap what they do outside of us.
Yeah. And I think both NC State fans and UNC fans could probably agree that right now they would probably take Manny Diaz as the head coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's saying a lot because I don't particularly think that Manny Diaz was a good coach.
He's done a good job so far where he is. So.
I mean, he had all the talent in the world at Miami and couldn't get out of his own way.
Yeah, if you can't win at Miami, that's the talent they routinely get. That's tough. But
I just don't know where UNC goes from here.
Circling it back.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
the players have to feel some type of way.
They do.
You don't know what's being said behind the scenes and what's real and what's not. But if there's a lot of smoke, there's some fire burning somewhere.
There is, excuse me. There are some things. Obviously, there's some of the stuff. There is some stuff going that's just not right, and that's not good. Like I said, a lot of a whole bunch of what's been said, though, I think is just people trying to kill us at all cost. But I do think there are problems, obviously, right? I mean, there are.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of problems.
There are things going on. It just popped back into my head because you mentioned it earlier. We were talking violations, and before I lose my train of thought, I don't know what the rules are. How the hell can you have NIL like you have it, and then sideline passes are a freaking violation? What?
Yeah, that's like
the rule. It may be the rule, but the rule is damn dumb as hell. If we're paying players NIL, and then extra sideline passes are a freaking violation. It is what it is, but that's ridiculous. But
apparently there was a message sent out to the players that they couldn't sell their extra tickets anymore.
I saw that too, and I also think that I don't believe that. I think that message and that thing that got posted was somebody. I think that was pure ass hatchet job. That I don't. I don't believe we did that. I believe that was. I do believe that was somebody taking something and trying to hatchet us on it. I'll be honest with you. I saw that, and I saw the copy paste or whatever it was of the text that went out. Well, I think that's crap. I don't believe that for a second. But, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think that's one of those. That's one of those. That's one of those reports that I say I just don't believe. And you have to be careful. I said it before. I want to tell Carolina fans to, I'm not saying it's none of it's true. Because like I said, I know we've got some issues going on, but you just don't believe every daggone little thing you read. Because there are people out there trying to freaking kill us.
And the university is probably in the same position we are. There's so much out there, and they have to figure out what's real and what's not.
What is real and what's not, right? Because they're having to do investigations on all this stuff, right? So they're having to go and say, okay, what's a credible source and where did this come from? I mean, so that's the other thing. It's got to be an unbelievable headache for the university having to deal with everything.
And it's all going to fall in the laps of Steve Steve Newmark and Bubba Cunningham.
Yeah, Newmark's got his work cut out for him. Newmark's got his work cut out for him. He really does.
I mean, he's going to have to wrestle the power away from the board of trustees.
And I wonder how that's going to play out. You know, I don't. There's so much. There's so much. Everything with the BOT is political, and I'm not getting into it. But that's the BOT is just pure politics. It's pure
honestly,
politics, and I'm not.
I couldn't have that conversation with you because I know nothing about it.
I know.
I just
don't want to get into it. I mean, it's like that's a no-win conversation.
I know John Pryor's name because I mean it's out there. He was the one that was on the forefront leading the charge for Bill Belichick's hire.
Yeah, I mean, there's been other stuff. The BOT stuff is kind of built because there's been a lot of just university decisions and things that have been done across the board and other areas of the university that have been driven kind of by the BOT that a lot of people are up in arms about.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
No, we'll save that for a different day.
Oh yeah, I'm not. That's not. That is in no way, shape, or form Hill brother material right there. It's not. It's just not. But just circling back, man, it's the whole thing. I don't know where. You know, my thing is, I don't know where to go. I don't know where we necessarily go from here. Is that? I mean.
Well, we're going to California. That's
I know that, but I'm just saying, you know, you
just know what product's going to be on the field.
No, I mean, I think all any of us can do is, you know, we know what we got this year. I mean, like I said, unless there's NCAA violation bombshells that drop before the season's over, I still think Belichick is the dude for the rest of the year. And we've got to go with that. You know, there need to be change. Like I said, I said this at the beginning, you know, I've got to see some changes in the coaching.
Something's got to change. I mean, they got to wait.
I've got to see staff changes before this Cal game. I've got to. If I don't see that, again, I'm going to be there, and I'm still going to support the guys, and I'm still going to support the players because they deserve that.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do.
But there's just
support the players.
But there's nothing, you know.
Because it's not the players' fault.
Right, it's not. No, they've been put. You know, they were sold. Somebody else said it. I've seen it a couple times. You know, they were sold a bill of goods, no pun intended. As Andrew Forrest. And it was Andrew Forrest that said it. He tweeted it. And you know, and it seems to be, you know, it's hard to argue with that. There's something to that because it hadn't been there. You know, it's I don't, you know, I'm gonna be hopeful. I'm gonna be hopeful that for the rest of the year and that changes will be made in the staff, and maybe there needs to be. Maybe we see a few more wins when nobody's expecting us to win another game. We see some more wins. I don't know how many.
Maybe Stanford.
And then, I think Stanford is the one that. Well, I mean, Stanford is the one that if you look at, and I mentioned this Sunday, I haven't looked at updated numbers, but at least going off the ESPN predictor, Stanford was the only game where we had a greater than 50% chance of winning, and it was only like 51 point something. So it was like it was a toss up. It was about a toss up. So, but you know,
but I mean, if the Cal game we have what we have game, right now. Somebody needs to be left at the airport. Yeah, somebody needs to be left on the tarmac if you leave California with a UCF type performance.
And I don't disagree with that. No, I don't. And I think that has to happen. You know, you've got to. Yeah. Somebody, yeah, you're right. Somebody, if no, especially if there are no staff moves made, changes made between now and then.
Yeah.
If
I
somehow,
agree.
some way there are no changes made in the staff and we throw out a stinker out there, yeah,
Mhm.
it has to be. And it just has to be. And I don't, I don't see this year being any kind of, I mean, at this point, let's be real. I mean, I'm going to hope for it, but I'm hopeful and I'm optimistic
Yeah.
as much as I can be. But I'm also realistic. You know,
Yeah.
I am that. I
No,
mean,
that's
you can say my,
when your hopes and dreams meet
my,
reality,
you
you
know,
gotta meet somewhere in the middle.
I think my optimism sometimes is kind of misconstrued. Is that the right word? It's not really as much that as it's not really as much optimism as it's just like, hey, that game's behind you. Next game up, let's go get them. Next game, let's go. Let's go. I mean, that's because that's all you can do as an athlete. That's what you do. I mean,
Yeah, that's what athletes do.
as
I
an
mean,
athlete, that's what you do. In my, in my limited high school, junior high, and high school athletic experience, that's what you do. You lose one and you pick it up and you go. You win one, you pick it up, you're still working,
and
you
I
still go.
promise you, they feel worse than any
I've
fan
said that.
ever
I've said
feels.
that to so many
You know,
people. I've said that so many times. I've
you're
said that
not
so
saying
many
things
times.
to
I
them that
can't
they ain't
even.
saying to themselves.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
that's
you don't
why,
you shouldn't have the right to say those things.
yeah. I've said that. I've said that so many times to various people when it comes up that, you know, the reason I don't jump on people after the game and say, the reason I say congrats to the team that wins and, keep working, get ready for the next one for our team is because they don't need me. Our team doesn't need me to tell them they had a bad game
They know.
or they stunk, they didn't play well. They don't need me to tell them that. All I'm doing, to me, I'm just looking like I'm looking, that's immature in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
And I
it
know a
is.
ton of people do it. I know a lot of people do it, and that's if they hear this later and read it. I mean, fine, fire a message at me. I don't care. I mean, it's these. You're
You
not
want all
ever
the
going to
smoke.
care. You're not. Well, I mean, it's. I don't care how much money you give to the university. It.
Yeah,
I don't care if you. I don't care if you're a huge donor and you give all. I mean, it doesn't give you the right to feel like you own these people. I mean, you give the money because you love the damn university, right? I mean, that's my take on it. I mean, that's the reason the money I give to Rams Club and to the various other things in sports, the various sports
mm,
programs that I give money to, is because I love the freaking program. And I love the
yeah,
school. I love the programs. It doesn't entitle me to anything. I don't feel like it entitles me to anything. Some people do.
yeah,
I can't, these guys, football speaking, these guys are beating themselves up when they lose. They're not happy about it. Like you said, no fan will ever care. I don't care how much you think you care as a fan. You're never going to care as much as those guys that put their heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into that.
I mean, they put their bodies on the line. I mean,
You're not
and
going to. And
and you
that's
they might have you might sit and say, well, I did it in high school. Well, obviously, hey, buddy, you wasn't good enough to make it to college, so just
you
sit
didn't
there,
do it at University of North Carolina. You didn't do it at the University of North Carolina.
drink your $15 beer, and
Yeah.
just sit there and shut up.
You didn't do it at Carolina. Yeah, that's why the guys deserve that's why they deserve our support. And that's why I'm going to be there regardless. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't mean I'm happy with it doesn't mean I'm happy with the coaching staff. It doesn't mean I support some of that stuff that
yeah,
as it is now, but my support is unwavering for the players. So but yeah, I mean, like that said, we need to put them, we need to do what we need to do to put them in the best position to succeed, and we are
yep.
not doing that right now, and there's
We're
no
not.
denying
No.
that, and that's the changes I need to see. If we don't, if I don't, and I'll say it, and I'll keep saying it. I mean, as long as things just don't blow up completely off the field so much, if we see some improvement, I'm okay with Belichick hanging around. Now, if we don't, then that plus all this extra stuff is just not worth it. It's not. And we need to go, and we need, and we need to not try to hit the shortcuts, There's no shortcut to success. There's no shortcut to success in building the program. I said that yesterday on Twitter. I was like, we need to quit trying to take shortcuts,
Yeah.
And, people are going to have to be patient. As bad as things are right now, if everything continues the way most people think it's going to this year, we're in a deep hole, right?
Buckle up.
We're in a deep hole. We're in a deep hole.
A long ride.
And it's and whatever comes next is going to require, if you're going to ride or die, it's going to require patience. And nobody wants to
everybody wants that Kirk Signetti Indiana
nobody
experience.
Wants to be. People kept telling me yesterday, you can't be patient. I say, I'm not. If you can't be patient, if you're not willing to be patient, you're not going to be happy. Yeah. There's nothing that's going to make you happy, because the chances of us turning it around overnight are 1 in a billion. If they happen, good gracious, I don't know how, and I'll welcome it. But the chances of that happening are just not there. And you're going to have, you either have to decide, if you've supported the Carolina football program for any amount of time, you're used to disappointment. I mean,
you really
the last ACC championship, 1980. I was 7 years old. I mean, a lot of people weren't even. People on Twitter, a lot of people around it weren't even born. I was 7. All right. I mean, so it's been a ride, man.
I was watching the 2015 though. I was watching that game. I thought, that stupid onside kick, offsides call.
And for my money, my favorite Carolina quarterback, Marquise.
Yeah,
I love that dude.
I got to meet him last season at the Bell Tower.
I love that guy.
He was an awesome guy. Signed my little boy's jersey.
His heart. That dude played with so much heart. God, he played with so much heart.
I might have to reach out to him and see if I can't get him on the pod.
I would love to, man. I'd love to be on the pod. If you get him on there, I better be on there too. And I won't fanboy out that much, but I love that guy.
If I can get Queese on the pod, you'll be right here alongside me.
Yeah, that's just he's my guy. I mean, I love him. I know we've had the Drakes and the Sams, but for my money, pound for pound, man, God, that dude, he was my favorite. I didn't say, and I'm not saying he's the best, because people get caught up with that, but he was my favorite. And, that's an objective call. That's my call. But it's, I don't know, man. I keep waiting to see now. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let's see. I will go on Hill Brothers Twitter, and we're going to do this live on air, Jeff. And then we're going to get out of here.
His birthday was the other day.
And I know we follow him on. Oh, sorry, Jeff. I don't have a way to get in contact.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have his DMs open on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So we'll just have to, tag him in when we repost the video. We'll have to tag him and be like, "Hey, or come talk to us."
So hopefully we don't have any more bad news. Hopefully there's no more bad news for a little bit in the media for us. I don't think we had anything. We didn't have anything negative come out today, right?
No, right? I don't know. Let me see. I can check the boards.
I don't think there's anything bad. The only thing I saw today was was WRAL's reporter walking back his.
Yeah. I saw that a little bit ago. He walked
Pat Welter walked back his report from yesterday that an exit strategy had been discussed. as well as Belichick triggering his own buyout. That he had been walked back because he had been told by multiple sources that wasn't true. So he shouldn't have reported it in the first place, but that's neither here nor there.
It's just called an ongoing story.
Yeah. So hopefully we just, we don't hear anything else bad, and we, get some.
Yeah,
get some changes, get some coaching changes that at least let us know it. Give us a good faith sign that they're trying to do something, right? I mean, that's all we can look at right now. Because, like I said,
let the fan base catch their breath.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, people can scream all they want to. People can scream that Belichick needs to be gone, needs to be gone, needs to be gone. It's just I don't know what to tell people. It's just not gonna. I don't see it happening. Like I said, I've said it 13 times this podcast. I don't see it happening unless something huge blows up with NCAA violations between now and the end of the season. Before the end of the season, I just don't.
When
Matt
Brown got fired, I was like, man, who is going to coach this team?
Well, that's the other thing, and it's like, okay, and now we got to go get somebody. So
I'm like, well, where does North Carolina go? They're not great. They just fired a Hall of Fame head coach. I'm like, what are they going to do? And you don't want to thrust the fan base in back into
my wish list this
turmoil.
time. My wish list this time will remain what it was last time before Belichick's name ever came up. And I thought, and I did,
what was your wish list?
Matt Campbell or
Sumrall
from Tulane.
Campbell
is who I really wanted. Campbell's who I really wanted. Matt Campbell was number one on my list.
That's the Iowa State guy.
He's Iowa State. He is who I wanted. He was my number one.
So when all this was going down yesterday, I texted Nathan. He said something. I was like, sweet. I was like, now UNC has to go get Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame.
I saw somebody say that. I saw it on a message board or one of the message board.
Oh, did they?
Twitter account. There was a message board Twitter. There's a Twitter account I think called Message Board, and I think it said something about Carolina needs to get Marcus Freeman.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm glad
that's
just thinking like me then.
I think that's what it said. It said something to that effect. That dude ain't leaving Notre Dame for Carolina.
I hope my thinking and that other person's thinking is aligned. I hope we have the same feelings. And my brother's like, good luck with that. That's not happening.
That's a hopeful fan or some Carolina female fans that think Marcus is hot and they want him to coach for that none other than that reason.
Oh, I don't think he's hot. I just think he's one.
I'm just saying. No, I know he is a good coach. I'm just saying. That's the other thing I've seen. I've seen multiple. I've seen multiple female Carolina fans on Twitter talk about how hot he is. So,
oh yeah,
that's
handsome fella.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. National championship last year.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So we'll see. Well, like I said, it's you said it. You said it a little bit ago. Buckle up, Buttercup, because that's what we got for the rest of the year, right?
It is.
It is. It's going to
be a roller coaster, and
going to be that's all I know how to tell people. It's going to be a ride. It's going to be a roller coaster.
North Carolina wins 3 games in a row. Everybody's back on the Belichick train.
Yeah. And like I said,
he loses 3 games in a row, they're probably throwing rocks at whatever house he lives in.
People are still throwing rocks, but again, and people can yell as loud and as they want to, but
on TP's house.
People can yell as much as they want to, but again, he's not short of like a violation bombshell. It's just he's here. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see loss. I don't see field results getting him on field results getting him out of here before the season's over. Now, again,
I agree with you.
See it.
It's going to take something big.
Yeah. If there's not, I don't know, honestly, and I'll finish with this. I don't know if there is anything, honestly, that'll make me feel like, okay, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that's going to make me say, okay, once the year's done, yeah, let's get him another year. It's a lot of it's just going to depend on how much of the outside stuff keeps creeping into, because that's made everything so much more difficult.
Yeah.
That's if it was just on field results. If it was just on field results, that's bad enough. That's bad. But then once you it's all this other. It's again, I said it before. It's all this other stuff that just makes it so much worse. And that's the kind of stuff we. That's the kind of stuff we can't have. We can't.
Yeah,
have
with a Summerall or a Campbell, you're not getting this soap opera stuff or the the other stuff that comes along with Belichick and the people he spends his time with.
Yeah, and if that and that's one of the and I will say it on record. If that kind of stuff doesn't get cleaned up as well, this has to be it. This has to be the last season. It has to be the only season.
Yeah, I agree.
It just has to be. But and I hate saying that. I don't take any pleasure in saying that, because there's still people with jobs. I don't care how much money they make. I don't care if he made $10 million a year. It's still people with jobs. But yet and still, I'm with. Yeah, I know it. I get it, but it's still as a dude that's been laid off twice in 5 years. I don't want anybody to lose a job. That's not I realize that's one of those things I say. I said that last thing off the cuff, and it didn't come out really right because I wasn't thinking. But
I have sympathy for people of our statute in those situations. Yeah. I do not care about somebody that makes millions of dollars a year. And you lose your job and you're worth 50, 60 million and you're 70-some years old.
No, and I get that.
Go sit Mai Tais on the beach.
There's a huge part of me that is like that too. I'm with that. I'm not saying that oh, woe is them, but whatever. There's a human aspect of it.
You want to keep your job, well, then do better.
Yeah, they definitely needs to do better. Definitely needs to do better. So I will say that. You're right there.
You want a soft landing spot? Well, do better at your job.
Where would that be? I mean, I don't even. The soft landing spot kind of tripped me out. That comment tripped me out a little bit. I was like, what the hell is that?
What really made me,
what is soft landing?
What
with
made
another
me think
team
that wasn't true is that it was with a playoff contending team. I was like, well, what playoff contending team just going to open their arms to
No, I thought that wasn't. I thought that was about. I thought that playoff contending team stuff was assistant coaches. Was talking about staff. I thought that was staff. I thought that was staff specific, not Belichick. Because that report had said that staff members had already been reaching out to potential CFP teams to find a place.
But save me, and somebody labeled it as rats fleeing the
jumping ship. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Rats jumping ship. The rats are jumping ship, or I think is what the quote was in there.
Yeah.
So
So it's crazy, man. Okay. What a world we live in as UNC fans.
My $10 million coach losing his job from the record.
It's okay. It's okay. No, we're gonna leave it in. It's fine.
I know it is, and I'll catch it. But that was me speaking. That was me speaking. That was me speaking. That was no, it's not. But it is, because it was me thinking without freaking speaking, or me speaking without thinking. It was me speaking without thinking. Now I just was letting my mouth go.
We can. No, I mean,
no, I mean, I said it, but it came out without me really thinking about it.
He's really frightened over this. Oh man,
I am. That's how you know I'm an amateur. That's how you know I'm an amateur at this, because I actually care what people think.
Me and Nathan have said a lot of dumb things on the podcast.
I'm still at the point.
We're like, or after it's published, we go back, like we went back and listened to it, and be like, I don't remember saying that, but now I really wish I have not said that.
I'm still.
But it's too late. It's already been published and it's out there, and you're like, oh well,
I
just gotta live
struggle.
with it now.
I'm 52 years old, and I struggle with no matter. I struggle with not giving a damn what people think about me. I still.
Oh
do.
no. I
And
don't.
I say,
I could
and I
care
say, and
less.
I'll say, no, I don't care. But then I do. so when I
Like
say
my
stupid,
wife.
when I say stupid crap like that, when I wasn't thinking, and I just spew something that's completely stupid, I'm like, I'm gonna get shelled for that, and I didn't even mean it. It came out, and yeah. So that's my battle.
Wife, like we'll go to the grocery store and like I'll just start dancing like I hesitate to say retard, but I just dance like a retard.
You're gonna get us canceled.
And
You're gonna get the podcast canceled.
you know,
I
got
dance
like a
just
maniac.
Yeah.
In the middle of the grocery store aisle, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?"
I do that around the
I'm
house.
just acting a fool.
Yeah, I do that in the
And she's like,
confines
well,
of my own
stop.
home.
You're embarrassing.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah. I see. I need to learn from you, man. I need that to rub off on me, so I don't care what people think. But
the more you get on these
I do.
things, the less it's going to bother you. You're just
and I've done that. There's so much that and I'm not new. I'm not the only one that feels like this, or that does this. But I know there's so much that goes through my head that I'm like, if I put that out on Twitter, whoo, whoo,
yeah.
And
I've had to let it fly, baby.
I've had a handful of times out there that stuff has come out that never should have, and there was hell to pay for it. But that's I do try to. I don't know. I do care too much what people think about me. So
it's all right.
Anyway, but like I said, no matter what happens with the coaching staff and stuff, y'all, if you're listening to this, support the guys. I'm going to keep saying that. Support the guys. You look at the players that are still on the team and the recruits coming in next year that are out there pledging their support to get this thing right and still rocking with the team. They deserve that from us as fans. The coaching staff, you can have your problems with them, but the guys out there are playing. They're giving their all for the university, and they deserve that from us, as far as I'm concerned.
And regardless what happens, you're going to wake up tomorrow, and the university and the football players are still here, and a year from now, the university and the new football players and
world will keep turning. I mean,
it's not going to be the death of you unless
Carolina football.
It might be one day because you're screaming and you have a heart attack and you're acting like a moron and you're screaming.
Carolina football is not for the faint of heart.
And at the TV or something, then you just die of an aneurysm or you stroke out in front of your TV because you don't have any common sense. I can see some people dying like that, but it is what it is.
It's a miracle I haven't over the years.
We're going to get out of here, bud. This
we got to go.
This has been fantastic. Let us
one
know.
One day I'm going to feel like I make sense when I'm on here. So I'm sorry.
Y'all watch this. Y'all let us know what you think about this whole situation in the comments. Where does North Carolina football go from here, on the field, off the field?
There you go. Yep.
If you're new here, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. We're on all the platforms: Hill Brothers, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, obviously. Yep. He's Jeff Blackwood. He is JSB Tar Heel 95 on Twitter, baby. Go find him. Go give him a follow. You won't be disappointed. If you like positive attitudes, there's your man.
And what's going on in general with Carolina? All the sports.
Yeah. And we're in talks of doing something with a general sports podcast, and you might see more of this guy. But he's a good follow. Give him a follow. we're going to get out of here. Something else happens. You'll see our faces again.
Yep.
But we're going to get out of here.
Keep the faith, y'all. Keep the faith.
Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all later. And as always, go Heels.
Go Heels.